Here's the story of my Scuf Instinct Pro. Beautiful controller. Isn't it pretty? Well, if you set it down too hard, the battery door falls off. It's only held down with these little magnets. No clip. I don't know why they would do that. Put a clip on it. One day, this stick started going severe drift. Severe drift. Severe drift. Severe drift. It was ridiculous, and there was no fixing it. So, after a lot of hassle and not being able to contact Scuf, and just zero way to get a hold of anybody at the company other than through a Twitter account, I had to find my Twitter login and go through that just so I could get a message out to someone at Scuf. Of course, their customer service line doesn't work, and they blame it on COVID-19 still. You just cannot get a human being at Scuf. So I finally got in whatever number, a special number they give you when your shit is broken. And I can't even remember how it went, but it was a pain in the ass to return this thing. Finally returned it. It was away for about a month. They returned it to me, and the left trigger was sticky. It's not sticky right now, but if you hold that there, it won't come back. Sometimes it'll just eventually pop back, but not super handy when you're trying to play. When you don't need that button held down, it shouldn't be holding itself down. So I just dealt with it, and I turned on the switches that don't let the button depress all the way. It only clicks, and I use that. It's uncomfortable to do that, but I did that for about another 8-9 months until tonight. Unfortunately, that happened. And mind you, that's not just like, this is a button. Click, click, click. It's hinged inside of the controller. The part that's missing isn't hinged inside the controller. It's broken off. And I'll show that to you here. That is a broken off piece that hinges. It doesn't hinge really. It's just like loosely attached right there. You can see on this side how it works. Yeah. So you have this little teeny tiny section of plastic right here that they want to hold on for dear life, I guess, and never crack. And of course, that's gonna crack eventually. So this is a pretty controller. When it's working, it works okay. It works pretty good. It's actually fun to use. But how can you, in good conscience, charge $255 for something that you know is gonna break? That is not something that is gonna hold up. When you're clicking on this over and over and over, it's gonna stress that. Over time, it's just gonna stress that until eventually that happens. Why not just hinge that one on the inside as well, and that way it wouldn't happen? That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. So I'd love to say that Scuf has great customer service and they helped me out and they told me to send this back or they're going to refund me my money or anything. Give me a discount on a, I wouldn't, I don't really want a new one. I want one that works. I want a controller that works. So this is the Scuf Instinct Pro, and it is not something I would ever recommend spending more than 75 bucks on. I think that'd be fair. I mean, bear in mind my crappy, bare bones Xbox controller was like $52. And I don't give a shit if this thing breaks, but you know what? It doesn't. And the battery door has a normal clip, so it stays in. Unfortunately, there's no paddles on the bottom of this, and I really like having those bottom paddles. But look at those; they don't get sticky either. Scuf, do better. This sucks. This is a bullshit situation. There's no way to get in touch with anybody there. So this is what happens. They get a shit review. It's I hate dragging companies through the mud unless they absolutely deserve it. And this is a situation that has sucked from beginning to end. It has sucked. I am glad this fucking thing is broken beyond repair. I am glad that this is fucked because I'm just it's like abuse. I'm glad it's over. I'm calling it. Hope you found this useful. Don't buy a fucking Scuf. This thing is an overpriced piece of trash. Literal trash. Useless. Garbage. Plastic junk. It belongs in a landfill now. And I have money where I really don't have to worry about stuff like this. But if I was like young and I saved up for something like this and this happened, I would be out of my fucking mind furious with this shit. I am out of my mind furious with this shit. I couldn't imagine like working like all month raking fucking lawns or something to spend the money on this and then something like this happens and I get treated like I did by the company. Screw it, man. Move on. Find a different controller maker. There's better controller makers out there. Absolutely. 100%. Over and out.